Hello and welcome to day 12 of our Not Alone Today chronological Bible reading plan. Today we'll be reading Genesis 34 to 36.
Genesis 34. One day, Dinah, Leah's daughter, went out to visit some of the neighborhood girls. But when Shechem, son of King Hamor the Hivite, saw her, he took her and raped her. He fell deeply in love with her and tried to win her affection.
Then he spoke to his father about it. "Get this girl for me," he demanded. "I want to marry her."
Word soon reached Jacob of what had happened, but his sons were out in the fields herding cattle, so he did nothing until their return. Meanwhile, King Hamor, Shechem's father, went to talk with Jacob, arriving just as Jacob's sons came in from the fields, too shocked and angry to overlook the insult, for it was an outrage against all of them.
Hamor told Jacob, "My son Shechem is truly in love with your daughter and longs for her to be his wife. Please let him marry her. Moreover, we invite you folks to live here among us and to let your daughters marry our sons, and we'll give you our daughters as wives for your young men, and you shall live among us wherever you wish, and carry on your business among us and become rich."
Then Shechem addressed Dinah's father and brothers. "Please be kind to me and let me have her as my wife," he begged. "I will give whatever you require. No matter what dowry or gift you demand, I will pay it. Only give me the girl as my wife."
Her brothers then lied to Shechem and Hamor, acting dishonorably because of what Shechem had done to their sister. They said, "We couldn't possibly, for you're not circumcised. It would be a disgrace for her to marry such a man. I'll tell you what we'll do. If every man of you will be circumcised, then we will intermarry with you and live here and unite with you to become one people. Otherwise, we'll take her and be on our way."
Hamor and Shechem gladly agreed and lost no time in acting upon this request, for Shechem was very much in love with Dinah and could, he felt sure, sell the idea to the other men of the city, for he was highly respected and very popular. So Hamor and Shechem appeared before the city council and presented their request.
"Those men are our friends," they said. "Let's invite them to live here among us and ply their trade, for the land is large enough to hold them, and we can intermarry with them. But they will only consider staying here on one condition, and that every one of us men be circumcised, the same as they are. For if we do this, then all they have will be ours, and the land will be enriched. Come on, let's agree to this so that they will settle here among us."
So all the men agreed and were all circumcised. But 3 days later, when their wounds were sore and sensitive to every move they made, 2 of Dinah's brothers, Simeon and Levi, took their swords, entered the city without opposition, and slaughtered every man there, including Hamor and Shechem. They rescued Dinah from Shechem's house and returned to their camp again. Then all of Jacob's sons went over and plundered the city because their sister had been dishonored there. They confiscated all the flocks and herds and donkeys, everything they could lay their hands on, both inside the city and outside in the fields, and took all the women and children and wealth of every kind.
Then Jacob said to Levi and Simeon, "You have made me stink among all the people of this land, all the Canaanites and the Perizzites. We are so few that they will come and crush us, and we will all be killed."
"Should he treat our sister like a prostitute?" they retorted.
Chapter 35. "Move on to Bethel now and settle there," God said to Jacob, "and build an altar there to worship me, the God who appeared to you when you fled from your brother Esau."
So Jacob instructed all those in his household to destroy the idols they had brought with them, and to wash themselves and to put on fresh clothing. "For we are going to Bethel," he told them, "and I will build an altar there to the God who answered my prayers in the day of my distress and was with me on my journey."
So they gave Jacob all their idols and their earrings, and he buried them beneath the oak tree near Shechem. And then they started on again. And the terror of God was upon all the cities they journeyed through, so that they were not attacked. Finally, they arrived at Luz, also called Bethel, in Canaan. And Jacob erected an altar there and named it the altar to the God who met me here at Bethel, because it was there that at Bethel that God appeared to him when he was fleeing from Esau.
Soon after this, Rebekah's old nurse, Deborah, died and was buried beneath the oak tree in the valley below Bethel. And ever after it was called the Oak of Weeping.
Upon Jacob's arrival at Bethel en route from Paddan Aram, God appeared to him once again and blessed him. And God said to him, "You shall no longer be called Jacob, grabber, but Israel, one who prevails with God. I am God Almighty," the Lord said to him, "and I will cause you to be fertile and to multiply, and to become a great nation. Yes, many nations, many kings shall be among your descendants. And I will pass on to you the land I gave to Abraham and Isaac. Yes, I will give it to you and to your descendants."
Afterwards, Jacob built a stone pillar at the place where God had appeared to him, and he poured wine over it as an offering to God, and then anointed the pillar with olive oil. Jacob named the spot Bethel, house of God, because God had spoken to him there.
Leaving Bethel, he and his household traveled on towards Ephrath, Bethlehem, but Rachel's pains of childbirth began while they were still a long way ahead, and after a hard delivery, the midwife finally exclaimed, "Wonderful, another boy!" And with Rachel's last breath, for she died, she named him Benoni, son of my sorrow. But his father called him Benjamin, son of my right hand.
So Rachel died and was buried near the road to Ephrath, also called Bethlehem. And Jacob set up a monument of stones upon her grave, and it is there to this day.
Then Israel journeyed on camps beyond the Tower of Eder. It was while he was there that Reuben slept with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and someone told Israel about it.
Here are the names of the 12 sons of Jacob. The sons of Leah, Reuben, Jacob's oldest child, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun. The sons of Rachel, Joseph, Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah, Rachel's servant girl, Dan, Naphtali. The sons of Zilpah, Leah's servant girl, Gad, Asher. All these were born to him at Paddan Aram.
So Jacob came at last to Isaac his father in Mamre, in Kiriath Arba, now called Hebron, where Abraham too had lived. Isaac died soon afterwards at the ripe old age of 180, and his sons Esau and Jacob buried him.
Chapter 36. Here is a list of the descendants of Esau, also called Edom. Esau married 3 local girls from Canaan: Ada, the daughter of Elon the Hethite; Oholibama, the daughter of Anna and granddaughter of Zibeon the Hivite; Basemath, his cousin, because she was a daughter of Ishmael, the sister of Nebaioth.
Esau and Ada had a son named Eliphaz. Esau and Basemath had a son named Reuel.
Esau and Oholibama had sons named Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. All these sons were born to Esau in the land of Canaan.
Then Esau took his wives, children, household servants, cattle and flocks, all the wealth he had gained in the land of Canaan, and moved away from his brother Jacob to Mount Seir, for there was not land enough to support them both because of all their cattle.
Here are the names of Esau's descendants, the Edomites born to him in Mount Seir. Descended from his wife Ada, born to her son Eliphaz, were Teman, Omar, Zepho, Gatam, Kenaz, Amalek, born to Timnah, who is Eliphaz's concubine.
Esau also had grandchildren from his wife Basemath. Born to her son Reuel were Nahath, Zerah, Shammah, Mizah.
Esau's grandchildren became the heads of clans, as listed here: the clan of Teman, the clan of Omar, the clan of Zepho, the clan of Kenaz, the clan of Korah, the clan of Gatam, and the clan of Hamalek.
The above clans were the descendants of Eliphaz, the oldest son of Esau and Adah.
The following clans were the descendants of Reuel, born to Esau and his wife Basemath, while they lived in Canaan. The clan of Nahath, the clan of Zerah, the clan of Shammah, the clan of Mizah.
And these are the clans named after the sons of Esau and his wife Oholibamah, daughter of Hannah, the clan of Jehush, the clan of Jalam, the clan of Korah.
These are the names of the tribes that descended from Seir the Horites, one of the native families of the land of Seir: the tribe of Lotan, the tribe of Shobal, the tribe of Zibeon, the tribe of Anna, the tribe of Dishon, the tribe of Ezer, the tribe of Dishan. The children of Lotan, the son of Seir, were Hori and Heman. Lotan had a sister called Timnah. The children of Shobal, Alvan, Manahath, Ebal, Shepho, Onam. The children of Zibeon, Ayah, Anna. This is the boy who discovered the hot springs in the wasteland while he was grazing his father's donkeys. The children of Anna, Dishon, Oholibamah. The children of Dishon, Hemdan, Heshban, Ithran, Cheran. The children of Ezer, Bilhan, Zavan, Akan. The children of Dishan, Oz, Aran. These are the names of the kings of Edom before Israel had their first king. King Bela, son of Beor from Dinaba in Edom, succeeded by King Jobab, son of Bozerah from the city of Bozrah, succeeded by King Hosham from the land of the Temanites, succeeded by King Adad, son of Bedad, the leader of the forces that defeated the army of Midian when it invaded Moab. His city was Avith, succeeded by King Samlah from Masrekah, succeeded by King Shaul from Rehoboth by the river, succeeded by King Baal Hanan, son of Hachbor, succeeded by King Hadad from the city of Pau. King Hadad's wife was Mehetabel, daughter of Matred and granddaughter of Mezahab.
Here are the names of the sub-tribes of Esau, living in the localities named after themselves: the clan of Timnah, the clan of Alva, the clan of Jetheth, the clan of Oholibamah, the clan of Elah, the clan of Pinon, and the clan of Kenaz, the clan of Teman, the clan of Mibzah, the clan of Magdiel, the clan of Iram.
These then are the names of the sub-tribes of Edom, each giving its name to the area it occupied. All were Edomites, descendants of Esau. This is the word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God. It's an interesting read.
It is an interesting read, and I think the first thing to mention is to apologize for the pronunciation of the names, as of course they are not English names and neither are they Yoruba. So we have pronounced them as best as we could. But yeah, just a heads up and apologies.
Okay. Just a quick recap. Chapter 34, we heard about Dinah and what her brothers Levi and Simeon did to avenge the wrong that was done to her. Then chapter 35, we read about how that Jacob left Bethel. Jacob left to go to Bethel. And then chapter 36 was and then in chapter 35 there was the death of Rachel and her nanny. And then chapter 36 we read about Esau's descendants.
Yep.
Okay. So what stood out to you in chapter 34?
In chapter 34, it's just the old drama of the rape and the response to it. There is something to say of how the deception that we have seen first in Abraham and Sarah, in telling just that small lie about Sarah being Abraham's sister. That was replicated in Isaac's life. And now we see Jacob replicating his own extents or even amplifying deception on a mega scale, both in the way in which he tricked his brother to get the birthright and eventually to get the blessings from the father. Now we are seeing the children of Jacob also doing some or perpetuating the deception in the family line, because they were so strategic. I think that's the word you used on day 9, on day 10, about what Jacob was doing. He's very strategic.
True.
They too were very strategic. They made it look like they are agreeing to the deal of, okay, you guys go and get yourself circumcised and then you can have our sister after defiling her. Only to discover that was a strategy, because they know that when full-grown men are getting circumcised at that age, there's no way that it won't affect them. And when they were at their weakest, then they struck. What a strategy, and what a deception. And then they would eventually go on, as we go on in this story, to also bring this huge deception around the killing of the supposed killing of Joseph, who did not die, who they had only sold into slavery, and on the story goes. So yeah, just that ongoing from one generation to the other kind of deception, and how it gets somewhat amplified generation by generation, is what I picked up from chapter 34.
Yes, for me, what I picked up like a few points. The first one is, when Shechem said to his father, Hamor, to get the girl for him as a wife, it's similar to how Samson told his parents to get the foreign girl for him as a wife in Judges 14 verse 2.
Yeah.
That just go get it, like no consideration of anything else, just this passion that is driving me, my libido, get it for me. It's quite concerning.
Quite concerning, and there are many young men that still continue to act like that today. Of course, they don't tell their parents to go get her.
They just get.
They just go get, wherever the case may be. But there is always, that's counter to the thoughtfulness and intentionality that we've seen in some of the marriage or journey into marriage narratives that we've seen so far, be it in Isaac getting Rebecca through the ministry of Abraham's servants, or even in Jacob getting Rachel. There was a bit of intentionality and thoughtfulness in the whole idea of marrying from within the household and paying whatever price is needed to be paid. So yeah, that's instructive for young people, young singles out there. You want to be led by God and to stay within, as much as possible, the household of faith and the household of God in choosing your life partner.
The earnestness of Shechem. It might just be a culture in their land. You see a girl that is attractive. You slept with her, and then started to profess your love. Not slept, you raped her. And they started to earnestly profess your love to her. How does that happen? And then the part that actually made my head blow was where he went to tell his father, gave his father that imperative, like, go get this girl for me. And the father, without questioning anything, went to Jacob and his sons and was putting his case forward in earnest to say, this girl's soul is tied to my soul, the soul of my son is tied, longs for your daughter. How can his soul long for her when he has humiliated her? I want to say mutilated.
In some sense, that's a bit
of a stretch. So, and then, if indeed he is in love, he was in love with Dinah, why not do the proper thing? That if they know what the proper thing is in their land, it might just be that barbaric for them to rape a girl first and then ask for a hand later. Because if the dad is not pointing it out, there might be a cultural thing. And the point is, he didn't even apologize for the rape.
Yeah.
It just went on and on about how this is actually good. We can intermarry. You can prosper your field. You can be rich. Who talks about being rich when you just defiled a young girl? Yeah, it blew my mind.
Yeah, I share your sentiments, absolutely. Yeah.
And then verse 26 of that same chapter, whilst reading that chapter, I thought he raped Dinah. Dinah came back home. They came to the father to ask for a hand in marriage, and then hoping that then they would go back with her. But I read in verse 26 that Dinah was actually left there.
Because they had to go rescue her.
So the rape must have been, I don't know, repeated, no? Because if he keeps saying that he's in love with her too, he must have been seeing her every day. And the poor girl, like knowing she's Hebrew and how they marry like in the proper way, that would have been so humiliating for her. And she might be the only person of her tribe within the Shechemites. So that actually threw me too.
I mean, it's unthinkable what they did, and like you rightly mentioned, it goes to show part of the reasons why, even as far back as when Jacob was going to get married, Isaac and Rebekah were both in favor of him not marrying from the Canaanites, because it was clear that their ways of life are totally inconsistent with the preferences and the ways of life of the Jews.
Makes sense. And the last point in chapter 34 is how that Levi and Simeon went. What they did was unnecessary. So yes, you've tricked the people, you've killed the men. Why would you plunder them? If indeed they were fighting for their sister, you've killed the person who's wronged you, you've rescued your sister. Why then would you then take all their wealth, their little ones, their wives? Maybe the bloodlust got into their blood.
Indeed. And when we will get eventually to chapter 49, we will see Jacob when he was blessing his children.
That was why no one's dead.
He had something to say of that disposition and attitude.
I've always wondered why he said, because makes sense. Okay, so that's what I've got. And then what I have in chapter 36 is just a few. Do you want to start first?
You mean 35?
Why am I switching them? 35 now, yeah.
Yeah, for me, no, nothing much in chapter 35, except I mentioned on day 10 about, day 11. I mentioned on day 11 about the curse that Jacob pronounced that was waiting to find fulfillment. And here in chapter 35, we see that curse indeed being fulfilled, because Rachel died while she was in childbirth. And remember that when she said to her father, so all of these stories seem to happen pretty much quickly. When she was saying to her father that she had a period and so she can't stand while she was sitting on the
Camel.
on the idols on the camel saddle, she was already pregnant.
She must have been
pregnant. Most commentaries will say she was pregnant at the time. So, but because that statement was a lie, she wasn't sitting because she was on a period. In fact, she was probably pregnant at the time. So within 9 months of their journey, all of this drama had happened in them seeing Esau relocating to Bethel at some point, and then this whole idea of, or this whole story of Dinah being raped, all of that happened too quickly. Anyways, that's just something to point out from the chronology of the timeline.
Okay. The first one I got from 35 was how that Jacob built an altar in Bethel just as God had commanded him. And then verse 17 and 18 of 35, how that Rachel called her son a child of sorrow. But but Jacob said, no, this is the son of my right hand.
Yeah.
And it's so, I felt jubilant when I read about it. Yes. Because sometimes, indeed, there are things we say in the throes of our pain that shouldn't be said. But Jacob was astute enough to just pick on that and change it. Like, no, this is not Benoni. This is a Benjamin, the son of my right hand. And the contrast was quite striking in the sense it's the opposite of it. How can he be a son of your sorrow? Well, you know you're dying. So that's the one I got.
Okay.
And why did Reuben sleep with Bilhah? Do you know?
I don't.
She must be really old.
No, not necessarily. I mean,
She was one of the people that gave birth to some of Leah's sons.
yes, but she was a servant girl, and again, culturally, it can be safely assumed that they do marry quite young and early. Again, in chapter 49, we're going to come back to see the implication of that in what will happen in the pronouncement of Jacob over the tribe of Reuben. Yeah, and chapter 36 is just all about the descendants of Esau. And there is every tendency to kind of, shut down when you get to all these list of names and names and names. But one of the beauty of reading the Bible chronologically is some of these names we're going to find them later. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're literally being told that Esau is Edom. And so when you continue to hear what God has to say about the Edomites, when we get to the prophetic books, then you know that we're talking about descendants of Esau. And some of the names as well, when you hear of Amalek, from where you're going to get the Amalekites, again, you know that is coming from that lineage. So hidden somewhere in all of these recap genealogies is some of the keys to unlocking the depth of the story as we go on, especially in the prophetic books. When you start hearing what God is saying concerning the nations around the Israelites, they are all in different ways related to all of this. That reminds me when Lot also got drunk and his own daughters slept with him. That's when we got the Moabites. One of them was called Moab, the other was called Ammon, the Ammonites. So when we see Ruth being a Moabitess, we know where that lineage is coming from. So all of these links are not just unnecessary details. They just help us see how the entire story eventually comes together. Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you for joining us for day 12. We'll be coming your way again for day 13 as we continue the story. And we're about to get to my personal favorite character in just a bit. Guess who? You find out on day 13. Until then, remember, you're not alone today. God bless you.